Good morning. Welcome back. It's Friday Coffee Talks. We are talking over coffee on Friday, and I'm your host, Connor Volpe. Welcome back. It's episode 107. Oh, so good. Coffee's the best, isn't it? I mean, is there anything better than coffee? No, there's not. There's definitely not. It's just the best. It's hot. It's warm. It's like a hug from inside. Wakes you up. It tastes great. So good. So good. Well, we had a wonderful sports weekend on deck. The Mariners are in town to play the Bravos. Hopefully the Braves can turn things around, get a few W's this weekend. We'd love that. The PGA Championship has already started. I don't know if there's anything better than having golf on in the background of my office while I'm working. It's the best. It's so good. So big major this weekend. Get to sit down and watch some golf. Love that. And we were supposed to have the Imola Grand Prix for Formula One, but alas, heavy flooding in Italy has canceled the race. And it's in most other sports, it'd be panicking to reschedule or put something else. And in Formula One, they're just like, no, just canceled. Just one less race on the schedule. So that's crazy. I was talking to my dad earlier this week, and it is absolutely insane how much logistics, first of all, goes into Formula One, shipping these multi-million-dollar race cars around the world and everything that goes into racing, the teams and the offices and the mechanic, the tools, just everything that they have to take with them. But the fact that they shipped all that stuff to Italy already and we're already starting to set up the garages and set up everything when the race got canceled. It's the scale of everything that they do is so massive and I just can't believe it. So no racing this weekend, but we'll still get to watch the PGA Championship. That'll be great, and hopefully a few Braves W's. This week I'm going to talk about something that I have had an episode on trivia before, but I've been really hooked on a special event that they've been doing called Jeopardy Masters. Has anybody heard of it? Oh, it is so good. If you're a Jeopardy fan, if you're a trivia fan like me, I did. I'm sure you remember, for those of you who are diehard FCT fans, I did an episode on trivia. I was a trivia host in college. In fact, all my Facebook memories lately are popping up of all the posts that I did about come out to see Connor at trivia at the porch on Collier Road. It was so much fun. So being a trivia host was amazing. I've always loved trivia. I was telling Mandy earlier this week that we were joking. When we drop the kids off, there's some rare mornings that the principal of their elementary school is outside. And Mandy, for some reason, she gets so nervous around him. And so she's like, oh, Mr. Pope's out there. You guys, we got to be on our best behavior as we're getting out of the car. Make sure no trash falls out of the minivan, all that kind of stuff. And so I was asking her, did you ever, as an adult, you're 35 years old and getting nervous around the principal. Did you ever get sent to the principal's office? And she said, no, she has been the principal for a day at 2 elementary schools. And she said, that's as close as she's ever been to the principal's office. She's like, what about you? I started thinking about it and I was like, no, I don't think I have. And then I remembered I have been to the principal's office one time. I think I was in 3rd grade, maybe something like that. And I won a trivia competition. They did one in the mornings and I forget what the question was, but I knew the answer was Kellogg. It was about cereal and I knew the answer was Kellogg. And I got this trivia question right and got to go have breakfast with the principal, which I don't know why that's a reward. I remember being so excited about it, but I don't know why that seems like a cool thing to go eat breakfast in the principal's office with a intimidating man you don't know. That's odd. Anyways, the point of that story is trivia has always been very near and dear to my heart. I'm a big fan of Jeopardy. I love watching Jeopardy. I get super hooked when, people have a big run. Mandy and I watched it every night during Amy Schneider's run a couple years ago, I guess that was. And huge James Holzhauer fan. He's amazing. He's one of the best to ever do it. But Jeopardy Masters has been really fun because it's kind of like Tournament of Champions. They're bringing back some of the all-time greats. And perhaps the best part of all of it is Ken Jennings is hosting, which we can all agree, every single person, there are no differing opinions, that Ken Jennings should be the permanent host of Jeopardy. I mean, it just makes sense. Ken Jennings is the greatest player to ever play Jeopardy, and he's a fantastic host. And when we lost Alex Trebek, which was horribly sad, it only makes sense for Ken Jennings to be there. No shade against Mayim Bialik. I'm sure she's a great woman. She's not the best Jeopardy host. She's very boring, and I don't love watching her be the Jeopardy host. Ken Jennings for Jeopardy, please, 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 please get it done. But all that is great because he is the host of Jeopardy Masters, and the tournament has been really, really good. They've been doing an episode every night where there's 2 games. They brought it 6 Jeopardy All-Stars back. James Holzhauer's there, Matt Amodio's there, Amy Schneider's there, Andrew He is there, Sam Buttrey, like America's grandpa on Jeopardy, is great, and Matea Roach. It's been wonderful to watch. So they've been doing this kind of round robin. They've been mixing up who plays who and earning match points along the way in this super long tournament. I won't spoil anything, but it has been really fun to watch James. Normally, I'm not the kind of person who goes for the villain. I hate the dynasty, the bully, all that kind of stuff. But James has reinvented himself. They always introduce him now as a self-proclaimed game show villain, which I love. And he plays up the villain card. He showed up with a belt the other day. He took his shoes off and walked over as an intimidation strategy. That was kind of weird, but and then he just goes out there and does his Jeopardy thing. So it's amazing. I've mentioned before, I love trivia. There are some episodes where I feel like I could go on Jeopardy, and then there's some episodes where I'm like, I would embarrass myself. And that is more likely. Everybody thinks they could be great from the couch. I would be a very bad Jeopardy player. I can already see that right now. I may know a few of the answers, but I would fall on my face. So it would be far too intimidating to go on Jeopardy, but I would love to go on The Chase. I've talked about this before. The Chase would be such a fun show to go on. I'd love to go up against James, go up against the Beast. He's not on there anymore. Go up against Buzzy. Anybody of the Chasers would be super fun. I'd like to think I can hold my own. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll just keep applying, see what happens. But yeah, check in Jeopardy Masters. If you haven't watched it, it's super good. I think we're just a couple episodes away from the end. We're into the semifinals now. They've eliminated 2 players. And it's really, really good. So I'm always impressed. It's just amazing to me the breadth of knowledge that these people have. It's wild how people can just know so much stuff. Again, I'll try not to go into spoiler territory, but they keep coming up with these French things, and James will ring in and go, he'll give the answer correctly and then go, please no more French stuff. And then there's something else about French. And I just think it's so funny. Like, even a category that they are avoiding and saying outwardly that they don't want, they're still getting the answers right and still complaining about it. So it's, they read off a clue and they'll buzz in and they'll go, and then they'll bust out this answer that's in Latin. And it's like, what? How do you just know all this stuff? It's amazing. It's amazing. So one day, maybe to rub shoulders with the trivia greats, I'd love to be on a trivia game show. Give it to me. Give it to me. Put it right in my veins. I love it. Enjoy the PGA Championship this weekend. Enjoy some coffee. It should be a great weekend. Oh, I forgot to mention, I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day last weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Yeah, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next week.